Late at night, in a small house nestled within a quiet town, Emily and John, a married couple, felt an unsettling chill that seemed to seep into their very bones. The cold breeze from the window sent shivers down their spines, and an inexplicable unease settled over them. Emily awoke in her bed, her senses sharpened, and distant, eerie laughter echoed through the hallway. Yet, this laughter carried an unsettling malevolence that sent a shiver down her spine. The couple tried to dismiss the strange occurrence as mere imagination, but an eerie ambience lingered within their home. As night fell, odd noises emanated from the hallway, and they watched as shadows danced on the walls, seemingly with a will of their own. Fear gripped them as they began to suspect that an unwelcome presence had infiltrated their once peaceful abode. The following day, the couple noticed that something was amiss inside their home. In the dead of night, they heard strange noises echoing from the hallway, and shadows seemed to dance ominously along the walls. Their unease grew with each passing moment, but they rationalized that perhaps an intruder had entered their sanctuary. As the days went by, Emily and John couldn't shake the feeling of being watched. It was as though an unseen presence lurked within the darkness, observing their every move. Their anxiety escalated with each creak of the floorboards and each flicker of a wayward shadow. One evening, as they huddled together in their dimly lit living room, Emily caught a glimpse of something in the corner of her eye. A fleeting silhouette moved swiftly across the room, disappearing into the thickness of the night. John, too, had seen it, and a chill ran down their spines. Terror gripped their hearts as they realized that they were not alone in their home. Something malevolent and elusive had taken residence in the shadows, and its intentions remained an enigma. Emily and John were now trapped in a sinister game, trying to uncover the truth behind this maleficent presence before it consumed them completely. The following day, John began to investigate the area around their house. In the yard, he found strange symbols etched into tree branches scattered about. These symbols were incomprehensible to him, but they triggered a sense of déjà vu deep within him. As he examined them closely, John couldn't shake the feeling that he had encountered similar symbols before, perhaps in an old book or a forgotten childhood memory. They were intricate and seemed to pulse with an otherworldly energy. Each stroke of the symbols was precise, and the lines formed patterns that defied explanation. John's curiosity turned into an obsession. He spent hours poring over books and archives, desperately searching for any information that could decipher these enigmatic symbols. Late at night, under the dim glow of his desk lamp, he finally stumbled upon a faded manuscript from the town's archives. The manuscript revealed that these symbols were connected to an ancient and malevolent cult that once thrived in the town. It described how the cult used these symbols in their sinister rituals, invoking dark forces beyond human comprehension. A shiver ran down John's spine as he realized that these symbols were not just a random occurrence but a terrifying link to the town's sinister past. In the days that followed, Emily couldn't shake off the haunting feeling of being watched. Shadows seemed to dance in the corners of her vision, and a chilling presence enveloped their home. One evening, as she was alone in the dimly lit living room, she heard a soft, sinister whisper coming from the hallway. It beckoned her with an eerie, unnatural allure. With trepidation, Emily followed the source of the sound. The hallway stretched before her, bathed in a ghostly, pale light from the moon outside. As she moved closer, the whisper grew more distinct, a spectral voice whispering her name in an unsettling, sibilant tone. A cold sweat formed on her brow as she reached the end of the corridor. There, in the faint moonlight, she saw it, a shapeless, malevolent shadow, seething with an otherworldly malevolence. It hovered, seemingly without form, yet its presence was suffocating. Frozen in terror, Emily watched as the shadow extended a shadowy tendril toward her, its intent sinister and unknown. She gasped, feeling an icy grip on her heart, and fled back to her room, barricading the door, but the chilling presence lingered, an ominous enigma that refused to be ignored. As John continued his investigation, he delved into the town's rich history, uncovering startling information. What he found was nothing short of astonishing. The town had once been a stronghold for a malevolent cult, and their dark rituals had taken place right where his house now stood. The cult had thrived in secrecy, conducting unspeakable rites that invoked ancient, malefic powers. These rituals were aimed at harnessing forbidden knowledge and otherworldly forces. Legends whispered of deals struck with infernal beings and souls forfeited in exchange for unimaginable power. John's research revealed that his house, now plagued by eerie occurrences, had been at the epicenter of the cult's activities. The more he learned, the clearer it became that the shadows that now haunted his home were remnants of those sinister ceremonies. Haunted by this knowledge, John couldn't help but feel a growing sense of dread. The house's walls held secrets that had been buried for centuries, secrets that were beginning to stir, threatening to consume him and his wife, Emily, in their malevolent grip. The past had resurfaced, and its dark tendrils were tightening around their lives, unraveling a web of terror that was impossible to escape. John, armed with the knowledge he had gleaned from the town's dark history, was determined to decipher the cult's rituals. However, it was a perilous undertaking. He found himself in a face-off with the cult sorcerer, a being steeped in malevolence. Desperation gripped John's heart as he knew that the safety of Emily depended on his success. With a trembling hand, he entered into a horrifying pact. He offered his own soul in exchange for the protection of his beloved Emily. The cult sorcerer, a sinister figure draped in robes, grinned with malevolent pleasure at the offer. As the ritual commenced, John felt an excruciating pain as his soul was wrenched from his body. The room filled with an eerie darkness as he confronted the malevolent sorcerer in a battle of wills. It was a battle of life and death, where the very essence of his being hung in the balance. In the end, John's determination and sacrifice prevailed. The cult sorcerer was defeated, and Emily was saved. But at a great cost, for John's soul was forever scarred by the darkness he had encountered. As he gasped for breath, he couldn't shake the feeling that he had traded his own humanity for the safety of the one he loved. John had performed the ritual, staking his own soul in the process, to confront the cult sorcerer. However, his soul had already been scarred, and his heart tainted by darkness. He fought a last-ditch battle to save Emily, but it was not only a battle against the sorcerer, it was a battle against the secrets of the past and the encroaching malevolence. In the dimly lit chamber, flickering candlelight cast eerie shadows on the walls. The sorcerer, draped in black robes, chanted incantations that sent shivers down John's spine. He could feel the weight of the centuries-old evil that had haunted their home. As the confrontation reached its climax, John summoned every ounce of strength he had left. He wielded ancient symbols he had uncovered in his research, directing them towards the sorcerer. A blinding burst of light erupted, and the sorcerer let out a bone-chilling scream as he was consumed by his own malevolence. The room fell silent, but John knew that his victory had come at a high price. His soul was now forever entangled with the darkness he had fought against. As he collapsed to the floor, Emily rushed to his side, tears in her eyes. The battle was won, but they both knew it had left an indelible mark on their lives. In the final showdown, John waged a desperate battle against the cult sorcerer. His determination to save Emily burned brighter than ever, even as his soul bore the scars of his earlier deals with darkness. As spells clashed and shadows writhed, John managed to land a decisive blow on the sorcerer, causing him to crumble in defeat. But victory came at a steep cost. John had wagered his very soul, and as the dark sorcerer fell, John's own essence was inexorably drawn into the abyss. Emily watched in helpless anguish as her husband's form faded into nothingness, his sacrifice sealing the sorcerer's doom. With the evil vanquished, Emily was free once more, but her heart ached for the price paid. John had given his soul to protect her, and now he was lost to the eternal enigma of darkness. As she grieved for her husband, Emily realized that some mysteries were never meant to be unraveled, and the shadow of their home would forever bear witness to the harrowing tale of Eerie Enigma. Emily continued to search for John's lost soul, but it had become an eternal enigma. Despite her relentless efforts, she couldn't find a way to bring him back from the abyss into which he had willingly descended. The townsfolk whispered tales of their haunted house, and the fear lingered in their hearts. The house stood as a silent sentinel, bearing witness to the dark secrets of its past. It had once been the epicenter of a malevolent cult's sinister rituals, and its history was stained with blood and darkness. Emily's quest for answers led her through dusty archives and cryptic symbols, but the truth remained elusive. John had made a fateful choice, sacrificing himself to save her. His soul, forever trapped in the shadows, served as a grim reminder of the price paid for confronting the ancient evil that had plagued their lives. Eerie Enigma had become a legend, a tale of a love that transcended even the boundaries between life and death, and a mystery that would haunt the town for generations to come.